20
Absolutely.
million is the goal, because 20 million is, you're pretty fuck you money. Like you're pretty good. And you don't have to
Sarah's
work.
looking at me like, no, I mean, yes, and yes. Let's just leave it at that, people.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
But Kathy was, with your point about Crystal, see, I do come back to all your points. I don't cut you off. I said to Kim D on our Patreon 2 weeks ago or whatever, I believe, if anything, the reunion, yeah, maybe Crystal will be fired. Andy seemed really fucking pissed off at Crystal on that reunion. Really pissed.
It did not look good. I will say, and I like Crystal. I've been indifferent about Crystal. But basically when we found out that there was really a nothing burger with that whole Sutton allegedly saying something, it really was the pool analogy of, every color kid should be in the pool at all times. Basically, I'm summarizing. I thought that's pretty shitty, because you were hedging your bets about a race. You were trying to paint her as a racist until basically everybody came to her defense and realized you were full of shit. And now you're backtracking, trying to say, well, my feelings. You don't get to make up your own that was a complete lie. And now she's trying to say, oh, I felt, that my feelings were true. Okay, but you don't get to pick the truth. I thought that was I didn't like that. And I think if I were the producer, I would be very, very nervous, because it's like, well, what's to say she can't make up some other accusation? You know what? That,
I agree.
Calling somebody out to their face. And I have a whole theory on Diana and Garcelle too, but calling Rinna out, calling Erica out to her face, I think you're a thief, basically is what Garcelle and them are insinuating. You're an alcoholic. Very different than saying, well, I have a feeling, I had a feeling, and you said something, that really, it was really bad if I reveal it. And of course, there's nothing there. That, I think, is somebody that I personally, if I were the producer, I would remove, because I don't think
it's a nothing burger. It's a nothing burger. And I think, right, like if you lie, but have a storyline and other things, like, okay, like, I'm Denise Richards and I didn't blow Brandy. Well, you probably did blow Brandy, but that's okay, because that's like, you're Denise and you have things going on, and like, you didn't recreate this. This was created by Miss Glanville sitting down on a floor with Teddy Mellencamp and Kyle, which is a scene that everyone thinks was inserted, and because there's the timing and all that, but let's not fast back for 2 seasons. But right now you can deny that, and that can become a whole storyline, Munchausen's with you a lot. But like, Denise didn't say, fuck my life, I have to keep this job and I better come up with something. That's the difference. Like, it looks like Crystal was like, really, truly, like, I have no storyline and I better make one up. And that pisses off Andrew and all of the other producers. It's like, now you're basically pointing out, we're shining a light on the fact that there's literally nothing here. Like, we've exhausted your story. Even you think
there's nothing
so.
there. And I'm shocked at Sutton and Garcelle standing by Crystal as much as they have, like with this reunion and I think it's a crazy great Game of Thrones, but I think they kind of want the allyship, but I thought, to me, that's so hypocritical of Sutton, who is another kind of Rinna, calling people out and then sitting there and saying, well, I forgive Crystal or whatever. It's like, really? What she was insinuating could harm you, your business, your kids. Really? There's literally nothing there. I thought that was a shocking moment of part 1. I'm just like, really? I mean, good for Kyle and them for calling her out. That completely full of shit. And I don't like it because it makes us millennials look like, not good. That was a really bad moment. I feel for Crystal. I was really disappointed in Crystal, because that was a moment where she could have said, you know what? It was the pool analogy. And in hindsight, I was too sensitive. And that really, Sutton, you weren't being racist. That really wasn't anything. And you guys are right. That would have shut it up. Instead, she tries to fucking go on this rant, this tangent about her feelings. No one cares about your feelings. It wasn't true.
And you have
feelings to have.
And you have to give credit to class. You're talking about a class move to Sutton, because they are friends. I mean, Sutton could have been like, listen, but Sutton is sitting there like, this is horrible that you try to imply this about me. You are my friend, so I'm not going to chime in because you're losing this one all on your. I mean, but let's think if it was Rinna or Kyle, they would have doubled down. Even Garcelle probably would have. So I think Sutton, very classy, was like, I am friends in my life with Crystal, and I don't need to. Like, it was almost like Sutton was like, I'm just going to take the high road. I thought she handled it very well.
Yeah, but I mean, your friends, you should be able to go, hey, you know what? That was really shitty that you did that, but we all make mistakes. I'm moving forward. Sutton sat there like, Sutton would have never been that quiet if it was anybody else. To me, it's like, does Crystal have something on you? Why are you this quiet? Like, I mean, she should have taken that. That was such a weird moment. And I don't know. I think Crystal ultimately will be back, but personally, that would, if I were a producer, that would give me some serious pause because there is nothing there then in her life. That was all made up.
I think so too. I think, but I think it'll be interesting to see about Kathy. Anything else from the reunion so far? Not really.
I mean, look, my theory on Garcelle and Diana is I'm starting to think Diana is behind the bots because well, I thought it was very interesting.
I mean, I'm interested. Tell me about it.
I thought it was very telling that Garcelle has hired her own team to investigate. The way it's looked online up until part 1 of the reunion was that they were somewhat friendly. I thought it was very evident from that reunion. And according to sources at BravoCon, Garcelle refused to speak about Diana. I thought it was very clear they're not friends. They're not friends. I don't think Garcelle believes there's an investigation from Diana. And I think, and if you did do it, and Garcelle has Diana has such fuck you money. I mean, doesn't it make sense? Oh, I'm hiring my own investigative team. What a great way to make it look like you didn't do it. And to me, I don't know, the whole Diana not understanding, I don't know. I just don't believe Diana doesn't understand what's going on. Could you pencil my name? It's like, I don't know. She's so all over the place and kind of uses this translation excuse, I think, for things, but I'm sure people will have a problem with that. But anyway, I don't know. I'm beginning to think Diana is behind the bots, and that's why we are going to see her go away quietly. And to me, I thought Garcelle had a lot of restraint. There was some things I think Garcelle wanted to say, and Garcelle was weighing in her mind, do I blow up this Bravo production? Or do I take a note what all these other women, Candy Burris, Giselle, what all these other women are doing, which is, using it like they're using you. I thought that was a very telling scene. And I tend to believe maybe Diana is allegedly behind it, but I don't want to say that because Diana does sue everybody. So I could be dead wrong. And this is alleged. And maybe Diana had nothing to do with the bots. And supposedly we're going to get an answer very soon on who the bots are. That's what I've heard. I heard Garcelle.
Where'd you hear that from?
It was on a Bravo site this weekend for BravoCon. I heard somebody asked Garcelle, and Garcelle allegedly said that